Next, we're going to be talking about the state of art. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I am an artist. I sing and play guitar. A lot of my angst from being from my teenage years, my young 20s, I got out in my music. I wrote a lot of songs that are just for me. It's kind of my journal, the way I vent in my life, and I've overcome a lot of stuff in my life with my art, my music. Even skateboarding is a form of art. I mean, it's kind of blending athletics and art, because tricking on a skateboard is, I was a skateboarder. I don't know how many people know that about me, but excuse me, I love to skate. But nowadays, art is, music alone. I have lost so much faith in music. I mean, there's still great musicians out there, don't get me wrong, but it's not the musicians I'm worried about. It's what is trending. It's what people are listening to. And the lyrics are terrible. They're okay, this is my opinion, by the way. You may agree with it, you might not. The songs are just horrible. Okay? The lyrics are like one sentence sung over and over and over again. Half of the song isn't even words. It's just like humming and la-la-las, which I tend not to do in my songs. I don't really like doing that at all. But some of these songs are just nonsense. It's not even words. It's like Sugar Ross, but, he was actually musical at least. I think they had some words in their songs, and some of them was in another language, but they did have some songs that was not even any words at all, which has its place. But nowadays it's just, so that's music, right? I want to talk about art. Now, my mother is an artist. She actually is in chat. Shout out to Mom. Love you, Mom. She studied under H.R. Giger and Keith Haring in the early 80s. So, and she's incredible. She did the, let me actually pop these up. So here's her artwork right here. She did the Frody stuff. She also did, let's see the last one that, oh my gosh, so many amazing memes on here. Look at this. This is art. You're talking about art. Like, a lot of these things are just incredible. Well, here's the last one that she did. Over and just chilling. Yeah, so this art is amazing, but then I see what people are doing nowadays, and there's that meme of the horse that blends from like a really beautiful looking horse into and they're like, hey, why does this art cost so much? It's because you need to learn how to do it, and then you have to perfect it. And I've seen her process. She takes a long time to actually get art done well. I've seen her process, and I can see how high of a standard she has for herself, because she's worked with some greats. I think she has some original work from H.R. Giger, which is really cool stuff. For those who don't know, he's the one who designed the original aliens from the movie Alien, and incredible, the xenomorphs. And then Keith Haring, of course, is one of the more famous. I don't even know how to describe him. It's like blocky. If you've seen Mr. Doodles, he's kind of like the new version of Keith Haring. But anyway, it's great stuff. Great stuff. But here, check this out. This is museum pays artist $84,000, and he delivers 2 blank canvases titled "Take the Money and Run." I'm not joking. Here is his art piece. It is a blank canvas. Now you can see he has globs of what looks like dried paint with white painted over it. So it isn't just like a blank canvas. He actually did some work on it. And it turns out it's actually more spiteful. Denmark's Kunsten Museum of Modern Art was epically hoodwinked after giving artist Jens Hanning $84,000 to use in a piece, only to have him pocket the cash and turn in blank canvases cheekily entitled "Take the Money and Run." It was a case of art imitating heist. Just in case you thought charging $120,000 for a banana was highway robbery, oh my goodness. I forgot about that. In fact, I got to do this. I got to show you guys this banana. I can't believe I forgot about the banana. And I'm doing it. I'm bringing it up. Because we... $120,000 art Basel banana. Look at this. Someone duct taped a banana to the wall, and it sold for $120,000. This is exactly. Thank you, other article. I totally forgot about this. This is insane. But anyway, back to this. The Danish museum gave an artist $84,000 to use in a commissioned piece, only to have him pocket the cash and turn in 2 blank canvases named "Take the Money and Run." The blank robbery occurred after the Kunsten Museum of Modern Art in Aalborg asked Danish artist Jens Hanning to recreate 2 of his prior works, 2010's An Average Danish Annual Income and An Average Australian's Annual Income, first exhibited in 2007, CBS News reported. Those politically charged pieces used actual banknotes to showcase the average incomes of citizens in Denmark and Austria, respectively. Did I say Australia? I meant Austria. Austrian, yeah. The reboots were slated to appear in Work It Out, a current exhibition on the role of artists in the labor market, according to ArtNet. Along with an undisclosed compensation for the product, the institution lent Hanning $84,000 plus offered an additional €6,000 if needed to be displayed on the opus itself. Per the contract, the amount that would be returned to the museum at the end of the exhibition on January 16th, 2022. But the curators first suspected something was amiss upon receiving an email from Hanning that said he had changed the artwork's name to Take the Money and Run. Indeed, when museum staffers opened up the box containing Hanning's contributions, they discovered 2 blank canvases, while the cash had entirely disappeared. Yes, of course. Now, let's see. The museum director, Lasse Andersen, says the money had not been put into the work. Hanning said he had a good reason for literally drawing a blank. The work is that I have taken their money. The Nada da Vinci told Danish radio program P1 Morgan last week in an irrelevant performance piece and mega minimalist work. It's not theft. It is a breach of contract, and a breach of contract is part of the work. The artist said he'd conceived the cheeky creation as a protest against the pittance he received for inclusion in the show, which reportedly required him to pay nearly $4,000 to reimagine the 2 works, according to ArtNet. The insolent gag might sound like an art world equivalent of a high school slacker fudging an exam, but the artist claimed that the piece provides relevant political commentary on the status of artists in society. Take the Money and Run questions artists' rights as their working conditions or in order to establish more equitable norms within the art industry, per a press release from Hanning. Everyone would like to have more money, and in our society, work industries are valued differently, added the painter, Pilferer, in a statement. The artwork is essentially about the working conditions of artists. It is a statement saying that we also have the responsibility of questioning the structures that we are a part of. And if these structures are completely unreasonable, we must break with them. Here is a more close-up of his... Maybe it's not even painted over. Maybe it just looks like... I don't even know. What is it? It looks... I don't know. It could be pieces of paper just like stuck to it. The provocative piece doesn't just apply to the art world, he said. I encourage other people who have just as miserable working conditions as me to do the same, Hanning explained. If they're sitting on some job and not getting money and are actually being asked to give money to go to work, then take the box and run off. Museum Honcho Anderson, for one, actually found the on-the-nose stunt amusing. Jens is known for his conceptual and activistic art with a humoristic touch, the art director mused, and he gave us that. But also a bit of a wake-up call. And everyone now wonders, where did the money go? As for the $84,000, Hanning hasn't broke any contract yet, Anderson said, since repayment isn't due until early next year. However, he specified that if the money is not returned by then, the museum will take the necessary steps to ensure that the provocateur coughs up the cash. All right, so this is a funny story, but I want to now show you guys some other artwork that actually is even less. And you know what? I'm going to bring up the banana again because I forgot about the banana. I can't believe I forgot about this banana. It's insane. And see, it was from Art Basel. They had a banana duct taped to the wall, sold for $120,000, which is absolutely insane. But check this out. All right. Italian artist Salvatore Garu recently sold an immaterial sculpture. It's in quotes because what does that even mean? Also known as air, for $18,300. The real story here is some a-hole out there has actually spent money on something that doesn't exist. Forget buying an NFT. This is a story of all stories when it comes to the new age art world. But it turns out, and you know what? Hold on, before I go to the next spot. This piece of air actually came with a contract that forced you to have a 4 foot by 4 foot cubed space in a private home. It had to be in a private home, and it had to have a 4 foot by 4 foot cubed spot to have it rest in. Like, this is my air sculpture that I bought for $18,000. Someone actually came out and is suing this guy with the original air being sold. And here it is. This is his art installation. All right. It's termed Nothing. Florida Man, of course, is a Florida man. Earlier this June, an Italian artist sold his sculpture, The Invisible, for $18,000. That's one I was just referring to. But Tom Miller is threatening to file a lawsuit against Garu, claiming that the Italian artist stole his idea and didn't credit him for it. Miller went on to express that he installed his own invisible sculpture in Gainesville Bo Diddley Community Plaza, an outdoor event space, back in 2016. His piece was aptly titled Nothing. When I saw that, I thought, that's exactly my idea. And ideas are important in the world. And recognition for those ideas are important. So I simply wanted that attribution to be... So I contacted him. He dismissed it away. And then I hired an Italian attorney. If you Google Tom Miller Nothing, you can easily see I had this whole paradigm sorted out before the Salvatore Garu ever even thought of doing a sculpture of nothing. Oh my gosh. He's suing someone over the idea of having nothing be their art. I mean, really, dude? I'm not going to remember this guy's name. This isn't art. It's a statement, like going back to the art heist guy, who gave them white blank canvases. It's a statement. It's an activist movement to show how art has and proved that art has fallen away. Do you know what art used to look like? Have you ever walked through an actual art museum and seen art from 300 years ago, 400 years ago? This incredible art pieces that we used to look at. And I mean, there's incredibly huge art pieces in these art museums that are amazing. And then you get to like nowadays, and it's a banana taped to a wall. Wow, you're so edgy. Let me pay $120,000 for that. What? It's insane. My goodness, or bring it back to music. These people are making so much money on just the worst songs ever. I can't stand it. But I feel like there is a glimmer of hope in this, because people are becoming aware of it. They're starting to realize what real art is. They're starting to appreciate good music, good drawings. When someone's actually talented, they appreciate it. When it's real, authentic art. That's what people want. They don't want to be fed mass-produced insert something, right? Doesn't matter. Mass-produced anything sucks. It's just, bring back the days where we fix the things that we cherish because we don't want to have to buy a new thing. A phone, right? A random thing. Like, I've had this phone for 4 years, and I love this thing. Why? Because the battery lasts a good amount of time, and it was right before they changed the iPhone to have that crazy tracking thing in it, so they can track where you're at. So I don't have that in my phone. I will never get another iPhone once this thing dies. I will be moving on, and I won't have another Apple product. That's a whole nother segment, another subject, but I don't know. I think people are finally realizing they want the quality. They don't want the quantity. They want the real, authentic art. The artists that are not just really good singers, but also feel passion for what they're singing. Because there's a huge difference between someone who has, there's some terrible singers out there that have such amazing passion. Who can I think of right off the top of my head? Joni Mitchell. I didn't think she was a very good singer, but she's an incredible, passionate musician. Right? That's the first thing that pops in my head. But that exists. I absolutely prefer quality. And we should all.